Having Peter Otai also coming to us one-on-one. We shall also be having Suleiman Muiru coming to us, I think from Germany. And also we have another one, of course, from the Boniface asema ametoka Dubai ama ni Doha. But of course, we, from Etihad, we shall be, of course, having one of our other contributors, of course, to share with us about the opinion on what is happening in football, especially Senegal being snatched their trophy. But that trophy right now is in the middle, at the center of the barracks in Dakar. So CAF and Motsepe, you can take your bandwagons to Senegal. All the best with retrieving it from the barracks. This is Sports Extravaganza. My name is Tony Kwalanda. Of course, this show is I'm not doing it alone. Remember, we have an entire team behind the cameras and, of course, in the gallery, and our technicians as well. But now I'm joined by our football team, our football punditry and commentary team. Of course, we shall start with the chairman of Mseto FC. And the current, of course, and former coach, right? Bwana Michael Banabe. Karibu sana.
Thank you, sir.
Najua alikuwa ameenda kuomba kikombe iletewe Kenya, lakini haiwezi Africa Cup of Nations.
Kwa nimeenda kutetea Kenya. Tupatiwe hiyo.
Tusinyang'anye kikombe wakati tunashinda. We don't want it when we win it in 2027. We don't want it.
Nasikia pia ile bao ya Ogamu yenye tulifunga Morocco. Nasema nasikia wamesema ilikuwa offside. So game iliisha 0-0. Wanalaita note.
Usitonyeshe kidonda ya Morocco. Unajua ambassador na watch show. But of course we have my very good friend, a board member of Kayole Starlets, the team, of course, in the Women's Premier League, top football pundit in Kenya, Dennis Madheka. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Nilifurahi sana kuona story yako. Jana nilikuwa nafanya story yenu ya Kayole Starlets, vile mmepata wachezaji kutoka kule Barcelona, ladies ya Laikipia, wachezaji wazuri moto. But mnafanya kazi nzuri pale Kayole Starlets. Joshua Sako anafanya kazi nzuri kama coach, so muendelee kupiga shughuli kabisa. Unaona nimekuwa nikifuatilia mambo yenu.
Kweli, asante.
Asante. Matunda's finest, of course, one of our top football journalists and of course a commentator, Bwana Danto Sibola.
Asante sana.
Karibu sana, gentlemen. We always observe the 2/3 gender rule, and that way you observe it because our sound engineer is called Scholar. Scholar, of course, now you know we have a 2/3 gender rule. Hiyo stasema director, unataka nifutwe kazi. But let's just get into it. We've had we've had this story about the Africa Cup of Nations being stripped from Senegal. I know we have a lot of images of Senegal wakisherekea when they won that trophy in January 18th. Remember, it was a chaotic final at Rabat in Morocco. Chaotic. I mean, walitoka kwa uwanja 15 minutes, wakarudi tena, wakacheza, nani aka lose penalty, wakafunga bao, and then Senegal won. They were given the medals. They were given the medals by FIFA president Infantino. Sindio, Infantino alikuwa pale. Motsepe mwenyewe alikuwa pale akapatiana. Ule jamaa, ule Hussein Mohamed wa huko pia alikuwa pale akapatiana. And then later on, wanatuambia ati wame... Banabe, Inonda amesema tuanze na wewe.
Na mwambie Inonda nimemsalimia sana. Nimemsalimia sana. Sasa hivi tunatafuta top 4 hivi pamoja. But anyway, Tony, I'm glad to be here.
Karibu.
It is very unfortunate. I know kumekuwa na arguments mingi. From where the law sits, CAF is right. And with whatever happened, we have a lot of opinions about the same. But this is my take. I think it is very unfortunate that Africa tunafikia hapa. Kwa sababu imepitwa na wakati. I think the ruling was okay because kulikuwa na claim from Morocco, walichukua wakapeleka wakasema this is what happened, we didn't follow the law, blah blah blah, and the ruling came, in their favor. It happened. How long kutoka January 18th mpaka saa hizi imetake kuamua hii kesi? I think the ruling haiko mbaya, but the moment referee alikubali wachezaji back kwa uwanja, hiyo ilikuwa imemaliza kila kitu. Naunga mkono Sadio Mane aliposema kwamba ya uwanja wacha ishie uwanjani. The referee has decided. Let us also give the refereeing department respect because this is not really what we expected. So you know, at the cost of sijui kujaribu kubalance, kujaribu kufuata sheria, kuna vitu zingine ambazo zinakuja zinakupaka matope hata kama umefuata sheria, kiukweli unakuwa ina dilemma. Let me ask you something, Tony. Now, are we going back to the podium after, let's say Senegal wamerudisha kikombe. So tutaenda tena kwa podium,
Senegal wapatiwe silver,
and then Morocco wapatiwe yao gold yao whatever, na wapatiwe kikombe tupige tena picha to erase memories January 18th. Will that happen?
So
nimesikia jamaa arudishe best man, best player of the tournament, I don't know, best goalkeeper of the... No, this should not be happening. But I think Motsepe and CAF wameingia siasa mingi sana, and this is my own opinion. I think kuna siasa nyingi zimeingia pale. You remember issues zimeingia in terms of when they were rearranging the AFCON, they talked about 4 years. Again, a later issue, kwa sababu people felt like the western part of football of this world is influencing decisions za AFCON. Now tumeiona sasa hivi. But mimi namaliza nikisema hivi, I urge my brothers Senegal, I request them humbly, straight from Nairobi, please rudisheni to your cup. Kama ndio kitu wanataka, wapeeni. There is no problem. Wapeeni, kwa sababu again hatutaki wabaniwe. Unajua pia lazima uangalie the greater good. Watabaniwa games, wafanye nini? Countries zingine ziungane nao, ziseme pia sisi hatuta, boli yetu ya Afrika itaharibika. They will lose, yes. Wacha tu warudishe. That's my take. Warudishe hiyo trophy. You know, the whole world has seen. Africa mzima ishaona. We all know that Senegal are the winners. So wapeeni trophy. Those 10 million, kama mshazi tumia, I know Sadio Mane can contribute the 10 million alone na wapatie. So respectively, si tunajua who won. And we know who the king of Africa is.
Madheka bwana. Mimi natofautiana na rafiki yako.
Warudisha tu trophy.
Haiwezi.
Yes.
Umeona president, umeona
the stake of our game.
President amepiga picha.
Si ndio?
Kikombe tumeona. There are reports on social media. Kikombe imepelekwa barracks. Watu wamepiga picha wamesema warudishe. Madheka.
Hapa mimi natofautiana na Michael Banabe sababu kitu kama kile hakijafanyika katika ulimwengu wa soka, sijaona kitu kama hicho. Sababu utaanza kuregesha kila kitu kuanzia sijui nini mpaka nini, hizo zote amehesabu. Unaelewa? Tukiingia upande mwingine au tukiingia hata timu ya Morocco tayari, mtu kama Hakimi ameambiwa na mamake kwamba usikubali hiyo kikombe. Si ndio? Na yeye mwenyewe akaamua kwamba mimi hiyo kikombe, hata mimi naamini Senegal walitufunga kwa haki. Na hiyo siku wakabeba kile kikombe. Unaona? Sisi ngozi yetu hii nyeusi, si ndio? Nikiwa mmoja wao yani, iko na shida sana. Motsepe, mimi namlaumu Motsepe. Sababu hakuna vile wewe utafika mahali ukae chini na uamue uamuzi kama huo na ukubali eti kikombe eti kwamba nani walishinda Morocco ndio wanafaa ushindi katika hiyo finali. Unaona? Ni makosa makubwa sana yani.
Nakumbuka of course, nakumbuka Patrice Motsepe Dantos came out, alitokea baada ya hiyo ruling ya CAF Appeals Board kutoa. Motsepe mwenyewe CAF president akatoka kuja akasema the CAF Appeals Body is composed of different member associations, which means alikuwa anajaribu kuwaosha akijitoa kwa hiyo ngori, akisema kwamba si mimi, ni Appeals Committee ilitoa hiyo uamuzi. Na inasemekana hata mimi sasa inaanza kuangalia president wa FKF hivi, nikiangalia nikisema wewe Hussein president, kwani ulikuwa kwa hiyo Appeals Committee?
No, the Appeals Committee kuna South Africa, kuna Nigeria, kuna Malawi, kuna Ethiopia. But rather than that, Tony, two things nimekuwa najiuliza about the whole shenanigans nimekuwa nafanyika. And nimekam ku reflect back kenye one of the pundi kutoka majua anaitwa Jimmy Carragher alisema that Africa maybe hii competition is not a serious competition. And now I think Africa can bash sana online. But I think now amekuwa vindicated. Unapata? But the whole issue nimekuwa naifuatilia sana. So many opinion. Kuna kitu Barnabas amesema hapa, which ni kama hajaiweka vile inafaa kuwa. Ni kama ako hapa tena ako hapa. Amesema nakubaliana na whatever the decision ili make. First of all, we're not saying that whatever Senegal did at that time was good. Walking away, it was not good. It was a very bad picture. Correct. Let's all agree. But miki najuliza swali. Referee wa hiyo siku ako najua kuna article 84. He knew, si ndio? Ange-apply saa hiyo. Lakini yeye alisema ball watu warudi.
Alikaa
na wakachezwa. Football is played in the field, not on boardrooms.
Appeals boardroom.
Yes, unanipata. Na referee decision of the last final decision. Nimekam kuona pia kitu Eto. I know why people like Mosepe normally fights Eto so much. Because unajua Eto ni mtu anaongea ukweli vile iko, cause he has played football, he know how things are run. And I'm telling you the truth. Whatever you have been reading on social media, I think is true. CAF is corrupt.
Allegedly.
Kweli.
Allegedly.
But
yes, but CAF is corrupt. And the whole house inafaa kuwa, yani hawa jamaa wapak tu na waishie. It was so embarrassing. Yani everybody dunia mzima anatuongelea but in negatively. Unapata? So I think watu kama Mosepe kuja kutuambia after decision imemekiwa, kuja kutuambia ni kama kuna jua whatever decision enda kumekiwa as the president of CAF. Hiyo ni kutubeba
ni kali jua kasi.
Na nakwambia hiyo information haiwezi toka bila Mosepe kujua. They need to report back to Mosepe.
Dantos, what I said, made me honestly understand me. You see, there are things you do in life to avoid a lot of issues.
Yes.
And let me tell you this, where I sit as a coach, there are things I understand in football and on the side of referees. And allow me to mention this. I know it is not known, but there is what we call game management for referees. Let me give you an example, Tony, and if I'm wrong, maybe I might be wrong. Wewe ni referee umeenda kwa hostile field. Kuna viwanja hostile in this nation. Pale tu mtaani, wachana hata na huku juu. Pale mtaani penye you don't have a camera showing anything there. It's you, the hostile fans and the rest and the away team. There are some things if utafanya kwa hiyo game utaharibu. For example, hata kama ni kufuata sheria Tony, au majamaa watapigana.
It doesn't matter. But
red card. Unaona, unasema hivi. Na mimi naenda kwa game ya Senegal. Me I think what the referee did, alikuwa anajaribu kuficha uchi wa makosa imefanyika pale kwa kuallow. As you've said, it's not that he didn't know article 82 and 83 ziko, but aliona for the sake of peace and for the sake of the game, it is okay. Wacha warudi tuendelee. This is the ultimate game ya hii tournament. Yeah. Now everyone is watching.
No.
They came back, wakacheza,
Banabe. In each and every game, there must be rules. And rules lazima zifuate to the latter.
They are rules. Kama zingekuwa ni kufuata, tungezifuata hapo. Disqualify Senegal wapi?
Yes.
Hapo.
Lakini mbona unatuambia ati alifanya for the sake of peace? Hakuna peace hapo. Rules are clear. Article 284
ile peace
inasema unaona referee Banabe angesema tu hiyo game na kuja seme because of article 283 yes. Senegalese players walikuwa out of the field. Hapo angesema I'm awarding 3 goals to Morocco.
Yes.
Na Morocco are the winner. Na amalize. Alafu Morocco ende kwa appeal.
Na mimi ndio maana nasema.
Alafu Morocco ende kwa
Senegal warudishe tu hiyo trophy. Kwa sababu
na ingekuwa rahisi wakati Morocco inacheza uwanja wa nyumbani.
Unajua tuna escalate. Tuna escalate. If wameipeleka kwa barracks huko, it is escalating everything.
Tusikie Banabe.
Making the matter worse.
Banabe unajimix.
No, I'm not.
Unajimix because wewe unasema referee angemake decision hapo award Morocco hizo points tatu na win. Tena bado unasema Senegalese relax.
Let me clarify because you are not understanding.
Utarudi Banabe.
Banabe. Nakwambia kuna double standard because unasema referee angemake sheria hapo which we agree. Lakini bado unatuambia Senegal irudishe kikombe. Na referee aliamua Senegal ndio winners. Inamaanisha uko double standard. Utaki game pande moja, but truth be told, huyo referee alijua kuna article 82, article 84. Is true, ndio. Kama angeaward Morocco winners that day, hakuna mtu angepinga, wangepewa. But itakuwa very fair. But why is the world talking? Because it's very shameful kunyang'anya mtu kikombe kisha
Ashacheza.
ni kama for example game ya jana tulinyimwa penalty ati sasa wasemee hiyo penalty Bruno tu asimwangefunga tupate hizo point 3. It doesn't happen like that. Referee is the last person.
Dantos, if you can give me 1 minute to respond.
Nakupatia hiyo. Tuko na minutes mingi. Tuko na minutes. No, uta respond. You will be
I will be given.
No, you'll be given your 1 minute to respond to trophy na referee.
Why?
You'll be given.
Yes, kwa nini I'm not in double standard?
Michael Barnabe, Dennis Madeka, and Tando Sibola here. My football gang over here, of course, dissecting CAF together with Motsepe. And I understand if we have our pundit, our commentator in Lancaster, in order you said, Will Lancaster is in Manchester as we speak right now, joining us one-on-one. Will, please join this bandwagon. What is your take?
Hello, TV47, Will Lancaster, an English Premier League reporter, joining you for the first time from the UK to talk about the Premier League title race. But first, to Africa, with Senegal being stripped of the AFCON trophy, giving Morocco the title after their antics off the pitch in what was the most bizarre final in some time. We all remember Brahim Diaz's failed Panenka and the superb strike from Papagay, but it was the antics before that from Senegal's team that brought the game into disarray. It's obviously a very bad look for African football. There's no shying away from that. No other international trophies have been brought into disrepute like this in the past. And no doubt it will throw the next AFCON into more disregard. After some of the antics at AFCON as well in 2021 and 2022, there will be more pressure than ever on tournament organisers to ensure that the next one runs smoothly. And if Senegal and Morocco meet again, who knows what will happen. Be an interesting one for sure. To the Champions League, and we now know our 8 teams in the quarter-finals. Some big teams were knocked out: Chelsea, Manchester City, Tottenham Hotspur, as well as everyone's favourite Bodo Glimt from Norway. PSG, they'll face Liverpool after beating Chelsea 8-2, and I think they will go through. The reigning champions of Europe, obviously, they absolutely demolished Chelsea, and with Liverpool in a kind of a poor run of form overall, I can't see PSG losing that one. Real Madrid take on Bayern Munich in the biggest heavyweight clash of the round. Madrid obviously have serious prestige in the Champions League, and having beaten Manchester City 5-1, you could see them as the favourites for the title, but I do think there is something incredible about Bayern Munich under Vincent Kompany. Scoring 10 over 2 legs against Atalanta really is something to behold. I think they can get the upset. Harry Kane is on fire and maybe on course for a Ballon d'Or. Luis Diaz, Michael Elise, that's a really talented front line, and I think they could cause an upset against Madrid. Barcelona face rivals Atletico in an all-Spanish clash. They've already faced each other over 2 legs in the Copa del Rey, which Atletico did win. But on the biggest stage, I do think it'll be Barcelona that advance. They got to the semi-finals last season, and there's no reason they can't do the same again, especially with their star-studded attack: Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, Robert Lewandowski. There are some real world-class talents in there, and I think over the 2 legs they will beat Atletico. And finally, we have Sporting versus Arsenal. Every year it seems as though a Portuguese club gets through to the quarter-finals, but they can't quite breach that semi-final push. And with Arsenal being the most resolute team in the competition at the moment, I do fancy them to breeze past Sporting and make an interesting set of semi-finals there. In fact, I do think it could be Arsenal's year. If they can take on Barcelona in the semi-finals, then one game could be enough to see them over the line. They're very resolute, great defensively, and who knows what happens in the final. But I think it could be Arsenal's year. To another London club in Chelsea, they suffered a real hammer into PSG, and it does seem as though Liam Rosenior is slightly out of his depth. It's maybe not his fault. He's only managed in the Championship and Ligue 1 before, which is decent experience, but Chelsea needs someone with a bigger reputation. Antonio Conte, Carlo Ancelotti, Jose Mourinho, all names from the past. I don't think Rosenior is anywhere near those standards. You can't blame him for taking the job, but I think you have to look at Todd Bowley, the owner, and Clearlake Capital. Chelsea have gone backwards since they came in. There is no shying away from that. And that is not down to Liam Rossini, the manager. It's down to poor planning, poor spending, and a poor future outlook from the Chelsea bosses. On to Liverpool. Arne Slot eased his own fears over the sack with a 4-0 win over Galatasaray on Wednesday. It's not the season he might have expected after signing Alexander Isak for a club record fee, Florian Wirtz for over 100 million and Hugo Ekitike. But there is still the chance to win the Champions League. The Premier League is gone. It will be tough, but Anfield is so important on continental nights. Under the lights, it's a tough place to go, and that'll be vital against PSG. If they can keep them quiet, they already showed last season that they can win in Paris, and an upset could be on the cards again. Whether they'll win the tournament, I'm not quite sure. And finally, a huge clash in England this weekend. Arsenal face Manchester City in the League Cup final. Mikel Arteta will obviously be thirsty for his first piece of silverware in almost 6 years to prove that he can win trophies, perform against the biggest clubs in the country and in the world, and give himself a little bit of breathing space when it comes to the pressure of actually winning silverware. But they face City. City have won the League Cup more than anyone under Pep Guardiola. He knows how to see finals through at Wembley. He's beaten Arsenal there before. And although they've not been at the best in recent times, that experience could count a lot for their players. Obviously, they won the treble just under 3 years ago, and a lot of that squad remain. That could be enough to see them over the line. It might well be Arsenal's year in the Premier League and in the Champions League, but I do have a feeling that City will win at Wembley this weekend. Thank you, and Asante Sana.
Asante Sana, Will Lancaster. I hope I said it correctly. Really, indeed, for sharing that, for all the way coming to us on one from Manchester. Of course, on this show here in Kenya on TV47, the show specifically Sports Extravaganza, coming to you live every Saturday, 4 p.m. all the way to 8 p.m. today, because remember, we are airing to the EPL match. As of course, we've rightfully heard from Will. There's a lot that's happening in the English Premier League, and of course, Will is one of the top football journalists in the United Kingdom, and of course, they are now stationed right here on Sports Extravaganza. I also have the best football analysts in Africa, talking about Africa and talking about the Africa Cup of Nations and why Africa behaving like Africans with the Africa Cup of Nations 2025 Senegal. And we've had, and of course I have Dantos, I have Dennis, and I have Barnabe. Barnabe, your 1 minute before I get in.
My 1 minute. Again, there's something I've been reflecting on. When we are talking about Article 82 and 83, they are talking about when or grounds on which the referee should call off the match and award the opponent, whoever is available there, the points. So really, if we get into this, because also people should not look at that paragraph only. If we look at this, did really, according to the law specified under the same article, did Senegal walk away from the match?
Yes.
Yes.
Let me tell you why. I think they did not. This is debatable, and yote anaweza ni correct. When does the referee give a walkover? After how many minutes after the kickoff? Team ilikuwa inacheza, ikatoka, ikaenda. Sadio Mane alikuwa bado uwanjani. The coach pia alikuwa shaenda, and some other technical stuff walikuwa grao. So did Senegal walk away? And I think this is some of the grounds that the appeal that is there by Senegal, these are the grounds that wataangalia. Ilikuwa 15 minutes, if I'm not wrong, between 15 and 17 minutes that the game stopped.
And Mane was still on the pitch.
Mane was still on the pitch. So what does the law say about walking away? Walichukua gari wakaenda, game second half ikaisha, kama hakuna mtu, referee akamaliza game alafu akapeana, ama ilikuwa namna gani? Je, wakati tuko kwa uwanja, fracas zimetokea, wachezaji wametoka, wameenda, wamesimama, wamesema sisi tuendelee kwa sababu hakuna usalama, wamesimama pale nje ya line ya huo uwanja. Referee huwa anashikilia time, anawaambia na wapatia hii time. Winge ndani. So I want to challenge everyone talking about this. I want to challenge every person debating this. Go and read Go and read the law under that article 82 and 83 Kenya inasema kuhusu giving walkovers and those who are walking away.
Wacha ni ngoja tu shikilia tu hapo Dantos, shikilia hapo Dennis, shikilia hapo Barabe. Shikilieni tu hapo, shikilieni. Hapa moto inawaka, ndio maana AC tumewasha hapa ndani. This is Sports Extravaganza. It's getting hot inside here on this conversation about the African Cup of Nations trophy, Senegal, Morocco. Nani apewe? Mama ya Hakimi ambaye amemtetea na warembo, amemwambia usichukue hiyo mrembo anaitwa kikombe. So of course right now, just before I involve Dantos and Madeka, we have a very own sports international journalist all the way from Germany. Yes, from Germany. His name is Suleiman Mwiru, who is joining us one-on-one again on this very show, of course, to discuss about what we also have in this, the Africa Cup of Nations, to discuss about the English Premier League, and of course, what is happening in the Champions League, as well as other top European football leagues. Mwiru, take it over.
This whole situation is actually embarrassing, to be honest. When I first heard it, and I was like, what's really going on there? You know, for a very long time, we had this from European football pundits, you know, football managers not taking this tournament in a very serious way. But this year, we had the impression, everybody was like, okay, African Cup of Nations is fantastic and amazing. And according to CAF themselves, they said the tournament of this year was something phenomenal. You know, the viewers, the impression was top-notch, you see, before the final game. And after the final, everybody saw what happened, and the CAF took the action. They fined the Senegalese coach and the federation and some of the players also. The same to Moroccan team and also the federation. And in my opinion, that was over. And coming up with this final decision, it is actually shocking and embarrassing that after 3 months, now you're coming up with this decision. This was something that I really didn't understand. And I've seen it, even Moroccan players and some of the fans are not happy with it because they don't want to win the trophy like that. So this whole situation is actually embarrassing, not only for the CAF themselves, but also as an African living here. When you see something like that, it gives an image that you guys are not really serious, and all this says that we have been hearing for a very long time now coming to be true. You know, you cannot defend yourself again with this saying, because what is actually happening is actually presenting that you guys are not serious. So now the Senegal also appealed, so we don't know what's going to happen after that. I remember after the final game, we said, okay, what happened, but this shouldn't define African football. But what happened just recently is actually defining African football, that we are not serious at some point. And I don't know what's going to happen after this, but it's totally embarrassing and shocking at the same time.
Thank you very much, Suleiman Mwiru, coming to us live all the way from Germany. And you just heard him clearly, of course, his first statement when he was talking to us, that it was very, in his own words, it's very embarrassing. From where he's sitting in Germany, looking in Africa, it's very embarrassing of what is happening about the CAF Appeals Board decision to award Morocco the Africa Cup of Nations, which Senegal won on January 18th. I am not putting my feelings in this conversation. I'm just expressing what you asked us to speak on these platforms. However, you can be part of these conversations. You know, of course, our WhatsApp number 0793 26927. Mutaiona hapo kwa screen. Number to call is 0795045864. And then, of course, our SMS number is 22047. Mtanisamea, najaribu kushikanisha vitu mingi hapa hivi. Remember, this is live, this is Sports Extravaganza. Dantos, Madeka, and Barnabe, together myself. We have a game. We are airing live to you. Fulham versus Burnley, all the way from Craven Cottage. We shall, of course, have a commentary team on standby from 6 p.m. To see how these things. Remember, Burnley are burning in the relegation zone, and they need this win seriously. Fulham, on the other hand, are looking to make their way into European football. That's an interesting clash from 6 p.m. right here on TV47. Remember, you can watch it uninterrupted on tv47.digital. Nimekram, nimesema. My director tells me that we also have, we shall be having a tie from Uganda, or nani atakuwa standby huko. Of course, we shall be getting to, I know we are getting a lot of rain, and of course our network might be interrupted. However, if you get and manage to get people from Uganda and Tanzania, we should be able to bring them to you. However, this right now, let me bring in Dantos and Dennis, because Dantos had said indeed that kulikuwa Dantos alikuwa amesimama not Dantos, Barnabe alikuwa amesimama, our cameras were under threat. He was explaining some 45 minutes rule of delay and stuff like that. But this same situation, Dennis, of course, and my team, 1976, we are being reminded of what happened between Morocco and Guinea, where Morocco walked out and came back and won. That was the last time they were winning the Africa Cup of Nations trophy. We are being reminded of 2010, no, is it 2010 or 2001, where Togo were attacked, Kina Emmanuel Adebayo, at the border. They're going for the Africa Cup of Nations. They were attacked at the border. Gunmen attacked them. They went, whatever, they wanted to go play, but their president called them and told them for their safety, go back. They were fined, banned. I understand what Barabe is saying, that if whatever happens to Senegal hiding it in the barracks, it might affect their future generations. We are in such a catch-22 situations here. It is embarrassing. As in now, we are just confused, Dantos na Madeka.
Tony, let me tell you one thing. I think Barnabas ako right Kenya nasema, but pia anajimix kidogo. In this way, the rules that Barnabas is saying, Barnabas anajaribu kuinsinuate that sheria ya CAF ama ya FIFA inasema when two players are in the field, na timu nyingine itoke, even anajaribu kuinsinuate. But ati hawafai hiyo sheria ifai kuingilia hapo. But I want to correct you. Barnabas, you was a coach, for example, ndio game iendelee, timu zote ziko kwa kiwanja, ndio game iendelee. Na timu moja haina watu wengi, iko na watu less. Ni watu
inafaa kwa
kisheria inafaa kwa watu saba. Isn't it?
Inafaa kwa 7.
Ndio game iendelee, si ndio?
Yes. Hakuna
mahali wamesema ati mtu mmoja ama mtu mmoja tu wawili akiwa kwa kiwanja ati game iendelee. Hakuna. Sheria ni sheria.
No, I didn't say that.
No, this is an example I'm just giving you.
Okay.
And maybe I totally agree with Barnabas in all this situation. In all this situation, if you follow the law, Morocco is supposed to be awarded to be the winner of the Africa Cup of Nations. But at that time, not after some 58 plus days. Unanipata?
Should be instant.
Yeah, why? Because in that field, there was a referee alikuwa pale.
Na kulikuwa na VAR.
They
have structures of communication and decision making.
All the lawyers wametengenezwa historia CAF or representing CAF wako pale.
I'm sure they anticipated such a thing. I'm sure they anticipated such a kind of scenarios, because all those scenarios have to be in play as you're getting into the final. So somebody did not do their work on that night, and they're the ones who should be liable, not Senegal and the trophy.
Yes. As I finished, Tony, is this a bad picture? Yes. It will affect kama Africans when it comes to football. Yes. In this way. And I'll explain in this way. And this now utapata African players when wanachezea Europe ama other countries hawatakuwa na respect kola pia ku represent national teams when it comes to Africa Cup of Nations. But ikam ni World Cup qualifier watakuwa na respect, because CAF imetuma mpaka hii Africa Cup of Nations sahi imekuwa reduced to nothing by this decision we make. Kwa sababu let me give an example. For example, in Manchester United kuna two players, African players, ndio? Kuna Mbeumo na kuna Ahmad. Do you think Ahmad atakuja kuchezea country yake ama Mbeumo akuchezea country yake na hizo rules ziko?
Atasema
but when it comes to World Cup qualifier watakuwa na nini? Sisi tumelelewa tukiangalia Africa Cup of Nations, big names wakina Kanu, wakina Jeje Okocha. You know, hao ndo pia watu wanaleta ama wanaleta ladha kwa Africa Cup of Nations. Wenye wanachezea Europe, wenye tunaona hizo timu kama Chelsea, Manchester United, Manchester City, unapata. It really will affect us big times kama atakuwa very careful.
Hii ni noma. Madheka.
Mimi kwa upande wangu nafikiri hizi ndio mbili zimeongea karibu kila kitu. Lakini mimi nagusia tu kitu kidogo. Kuhusu 1976, Morocco game imesimama, wakatoka ndani wakaingia kwa uwanja wakachukua. This time round sasa ni
what goes around comes around.
Yule mwingine amekuja sasa ametoka amepewa.
Bado Morocco hawa Cup of Nation AFCON ya madem.
Yes.
Si ndio? Wameisimamisha mwanzo. Umeelewa lakini
after the ruling
bado wao ndio wenye kusema nini? Hawataki kucheza Cup of Nation wako Europe. Umeelewa sasa? Sasa hapo shabiki mpendo hapo nje, si ndio? Tafakari ya babu. Yangu ni
Sports Extravaganza here coming to you live on TV 47. Remember, I'm with Dantos, Dennis Madheka, and Barnabe. And of course, here we've been here all the way from 4 p.m. Now we are sliding into the English Premier League. TV 47, remember, every Saturday